So here we are all set today for good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Here we are for the day 9 of the session of NEP series. And today again, we have a wonderful eminent speakers, a panelist of eminent ECC experts over here on the topic of holistic multidisciplinary education. So before I start the session, I would like each and everyone to participate in the session. And if you have any queries or anything to ask, you're free to ask after the session is over. So all the best to each and every participant. I would like to put forward my first speaker, that is Dr. Dipali Shirgave. Dr. Dipali Shirgave is a committed senior lecturer with over 26 years of experience at leading academic institutions, teaching students from various social and cultural backgrounds. She possesses excellent administrative, verbal communication, and written skills, along with constructive and effective teaching and learning methods that promote a stimulating learning environment. An author, international speaker, counselor, social activist, and founder of CVMD and
Ma'am,
CWMA
ma'am,
organization.
excuse me. I think you are Sharda ma'am's profile you are reading.
That is Sharda ma'am's?
Yes, that Sharda ma'am's you have given me to.
Okay, can you please send me yours? I think we'll
I
start.
have sent you, ma'am. Just check it. Morning
Okay,
only I have sent you.
Okay. Because there are so many profiles together. Please send me again if it is possible.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
introduce.
Immediately I will send.
Okay. Okay. So apologies for introducing the wrong speaker with the wrong profile. Here I go with my speaker number 1, Dipali Shirgave ma'am. And Mrs. Dipali Shirgave is an educator with over 14 years of experience in the field of education. She has done MSc, Botany, M.A. Education, PGDMA, IGNOU University, Doctorate in Education. Apart from this, she has completed certificate program in counselor training, diploma in Yoga Shastra and Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Mahavidyalaya in Pravek Shiksha Pratham Musical Vocal. Her achievements are she received the Nari to Narayani Award by Fun to Learn. She has received Indian Humanitarian Award by GTEF. She has received Principal of the Year Award 2021 by CED. She has received Edu Rock Best CCA School Award. Best Educator Nalana Award 2021. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishna Shikshan Parv Award. Shikshak Gaurav Puraskar by PAI. College of BEDA. She has received Nation Builder Award by Rotary Club, West Zone, Mumbai. APJ Kalam Award 2021. The Rudra Ratan Award and World Record Earth Award. She is gifted with inborn leadership qualities. She has held positions demanding immense command, control, and organizational skills. She is an effective event organizer and has conducted many prestigious school events and competitions with professional expertise and excellence. So, welcome, ma'am. And there is much more to her. Let us hear from her what she has, and let's empower one another with this wonderful series of NEP Day 9 rocking session. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. And it's my humble gratitude towards Ravi sir, Sonal ma'am, and all the dignitaries. So it's my pleasure to today, as a speaker, I'm going to speak. Our topic is transformation in higher education. So, ma'am, I would like to share my PPT.
Please do.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes.
Now, before going to start this PPT, here I would like to say famous quote said by Vivekananda. We want education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. So this NEP 2020 for the higher education, we all expect from Swami Vivekananda. This NEP 2020 design and vision for the framework. Already we are not going to discuss about all the 4 stages. Only we are going to discuss about the higher education, transforming in higher education. So first of all, I would like to focus on role and purpose of higher education. So higher education significantly contributes towards sustainable livelihoods and economic development of a nation. And it is 21st century requirements, quality higher education. It must aim to good, thoughtful, well-rounded, and creative individuality. Now, we'll see very important reforms related to in higher education. That is number one, access, equity, inclusiveness, and quality. The NEP 2020 calls for the key returns in both school and higher education. And it is the prepare for the next generation to thrive and compete in the new digital era. So we'll go one by one. First is the access. So access, it is for the opportunity for admission to a large number of talented students with
Ma'am,
prerequisite.
you need to change the slide.
Ma'am, afterwards, just first I will explain about this access, equity, inclusiveness, and quality. So first of all, we'll see access. Access, opportunity for admission to a large number of talented students with the prerequisite knowledge and aptitude. Now, equity. For the equity, no talented person shall be denied access to opportunities in higher education on the grounds of economic and social backgroundness with the constitutional framework. Inclusiveness. Now, students having different capabilities belonging to different countries, states, regions, religions, communities, different social backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, differently abled students with special needs, students of different diversity study in the universities. Now, access to higher education is measured in terms of gross enrollment ratio. Now we will see what is meant by gross enrollment ratio. According to UNESCO, this gross enrollment ratio as the total enrollment within a country in a specific level of education, regardless of age, expressed as a percentage of the population in the official age group corresponding to this level of education. And the gross enrollment ratio in higher education in India at the time of independence was just 0.4%. And here it is about 26% now. Now, these are the main key points of this higher education. First is the teacher-centered and learner-centered. Learner-centered curricula, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary curriculum. Flexible curriculum is there in that core courses, elective courses, mandatory courses, and open electives. And last one is the total restructuring of the curriculum. Now here I am going to discuss about the major reforms in higher education. It has been divided into 5 parts. Actually, I am going to have only these major reforms. I am not going to go in detail. First one is the multidisciplinary education. So we'll discuss multidisciplinary education. For the purpose of developing holistic individuals, it is essential that an identified set of skills and values will be incorporated at each stage of learning from preschool to higher school. So first is the multidisciplinary education. We'll see in this multidisciplinary education, there will be a flexible curriculum. There are many creative combination of subjects and integration of vocational education. Now, in this multidisciplinary education, I will explain about the structure. Degree programs of 3 or 4 years. First one is the certificate after completing 1 year. then diploma after completing 2 years. Then third one is the bachelor's degree after completing 3 years. And fourth one, multidisciplinary bachelor degree, that is after completing 4 years. Fourth year will be considered for the research purpose. And multiple entry and exit point will be allowed. Next one, certification. Undergraduate education can be of 3 to 4 years with multiple exit options, just now as I said. Appropriate certification within this period. And very important thing, that is the academic bank of credit, that is ABC. So academic bank of credit shall be established
I think there is some technical glitch. Technical issue is there.
Are you able to see?
Yes.
Hello?
Your screen
Yes,
is not
yes, yes.
visible. Yeah.
The PPT is not visible. You are there.
Okay. Now it's visible?
No. If you're unable to do it, ma'am, you can just explain also. No issues at all.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
I think it's visible now.
Yes.
Yes, now third one is the open and distance learning. Open and distance learning will more emphasis on online courses, digital repositories, improved student services, credit-based recognition of MOOCO, etc. Institutional restructuring and consolidation. And 3 types of HEI. There will be a higher education institutes, 3 types that I'm going to explain. First one is the research institute universities, research intensive universities, those universities who place equal emphasis on teaching and research. Second one is the teaching intensive universities. Here, those who place greater emphasis on teaching but still conduct significant research. And third one is the autonomous degree granting. So here primarily focused on undergraduate degrees. So stage-wise mechanism of granting graded autonomy to colleges through transport system. Next one is the mentoring mission. Here, a large pool of outstanding senior retired faculty will help to the students, including those with the ability to teach in Indian languages. Be willing to provide short and long-term mentoring professional. Here, the senior retired faculty will teach to the university or college teachers. Last one, admissions. Now, 3.5 crore new seats will be added to higher education institutes. Single entrance exam for other than medical and legal studies will be conducted. Now, these are the few major advantages for, in the higher education. First one is those students who have dropouts, as they will have an in-between certification, they will get the certification. Increase in GER, that is the gross enrollment ratio. As a result, remote enrollment and digital learning will be there, promoting skills, extracurricular and knowledge. Now, before concluding this PPT, here I would like to say one J. Krishnamurthy's famous quote: right education should help the student not only to develop his capacities, but to understand his own highest interest. Thank you, Ravi sir, and thank you, Sonal ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Namaskaram.
Thank you, ma'am. That was indeed an insightful information. But before concluding, I would like to ask you one question, and that is about, as you said about the dropout rates and other. Do you think that people who don't drop out and they continue with the education, and the ones who drop out take a break and again continue with the same education, will there be any restrictions on them being given equal weightage on par with both of them together? Because sometimes when companies employ people, they go through the whole biodata and they see here you have a break, here you don't have a break. So do you think NEP will come as a rescue force over here, even if after providing the opportunities and all the facilities? What do you think on this?
I think it is a good opportunity. Those students, they have dropped out the education because of their some family issues or because of some financial purposes. They can continue and they will get the certification. So here, I think it is better
Yeah, that is
opportunity for those who
yeah.
have missed their education.
Yeah, that is what I want to highlight out, because most of the queries that people also come out with, that whether they will be given the equal weightage on par with the ones who don't drop out and continue their education. So in fact, this was a wonderful, insightful information also for the basic information that you have shared. Thank you, ma'am, so much for being here. And I would like you to, I would like you to take the privilege to introduce the next speaker after you, ma'am.
Yes.
Sonal ma'am, before
Now our
Dipali
next
ma'am,
speaker is
Dipali ma'am introduces the next speaker, I would just like to add on a little to the question that you
Please,
asked.
please.
If
Yes,
you
yes.
Yes,
allow
ma'am.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am, it is actually introduced, this policy has been introduced, the entry-exit policy, to increase the rate of education and literacy in our country. Because, at times it so happens that the family circumstances are such that the student has to drop out of the education part. He has to take up something different that he was not entitled to. And then he misses on his education. So when he's able to do it, he's affording it, he can restart it. So here what happens, that will be mentioned, that gap year will be shown in his profile. So when a student is building his profile, the child has to be very clear in his mind that he cannot take it at liberty, that he needs to take a break, and entry and exit can be made as an
That
advantage.
is what, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying, because some might not misuse it.
Yes.
Due to unavoidable circumstances, due to emergencies, due to any natural disasters happening, or whatever you can say. So pandemic has happened. A lot of last moment decisions were taken which were not on par with before the NEP policy. That is why I highlighted the issue that some of the institutions, the schools, and the children also must not misuse this. कि अभी facility मिली है तो हम करेंगे, even if they can do it also. So that is what wonderful, ma'am.
And
Thank
earlier,
you.
I think earlier this facility was not there. They have to again continue with the starting onwards. They have to do their graduation. So now here they can continue.
Yeah, that is what I think. That is what I wanted to highlight it. Okay, people and the education stakeholders, the institutions, and the children who know that this policy has this facility must not misuse it in case of any unavoidable circumstances. So you have to maintain the protocols, because there will be a grant given to you providing all the certifications submitted and everything. There will be little bit flexibility given to you. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sonia ma'am, for volunteering to answer this question. Go ahead, ma'am. Dipali ma'am.
Yes. Now I would like to introduce a second panelist, Dr. Sharda Chakravarti. She is a committed senior lecturer with over 26 years of experience at leading academic institutions, teaching students from various social and cultural backgrounds. She is also an international speaker, an author, counselor, social activist, and founder of CVMD and CWMA organization, which work for emotional empowerment. She has been appointed Deputy Chief Moderator for Maharashtra State Board in the year 2022.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Also, she's co-authored textbook for Maharashtra State Board as per the NEP. She has received many national and international awards.
This is Rachna ma'am's. Okay, let me introduce myself.
I got Sharda.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, no problem. Thank you. First of all, Sonal ma'am, for this beautiful arrangement, because you are working day and night. You are in continuous, connecting with the speakers, passing on the biodatas, their introduction, and I'm so very thankful to you, ma'am, for your So hard effort, hard work, really. And plus you are speaking on at various times I have seen you. And thank you, Ravi sir, and for this providing this beautiful platform. Thank you so much, ma'am. So let me introduce myself. Thank you. So this is Dr. Sharda.
Apologies, ma'am.
No problem.
Sincere apologies because I got this.
No. I just, please don't say this. I am, no problem. This is Dr. Sharda Chakravarti. I am a senior PGT with, of course, 20 plus years of experience teaching biology in a senior secondary school in Kolkata. And also I am AIEF master trainer, also doing writing. I have written a book and so many things, but I'm not going to waste this time because we are going to focus on national education policy, higher education.
I would like to just mention one thing. In case if the profiles are not mentioned, now we all are under the platform of speakers. We all aware of each other's profiles and everyone. So let's go ahead with the speech and not waste rather more time on the profile. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So that was a short introduction. Now as Sonia ma'am and Dipali ma'am and Sonal ma'am also asked a question. I remember the time when I was in college and two of my classmates, they had to drop in between and leave their education. And of course, they did not have that resources. They did not have that enthusiasm to join the college again. And they were called the college dropouts. Whenever we had some meeting or some get together, they used to always be behind because at that time there was no new education policy which would have catered their needs. So today, going with this forward, let me share my screen. Okay. So there are many points discussed by ma'am already. So higher education plays an important, extremely important role in promoting human as well as the well-being of the society, developing India as envisioned in Constitution, a democratic, just, socially conscious, cultured, and a human nation upholding liberty, equality, fraternity, and justice for all. Higher education also significantly contribute towards sustainable livelihood. Yes, why are we studying? Right from the junior time when we were in colleges, in schools and colleges, we were told that padhoge, likhoge, banoge mahan. If you study, you will grow. So that was the thing. And as India moves towards becoming a knowledge economy and society, more and more young Indians are likely to aspire for higher education. So this is the value of higher education in India and all over the world. So with respect to higher education, there were broad-based, multidisciplinary, holistic undergraduate education with flexible curriculum, creative combination of subjects, integration of vocational education, and multiple entry and exit points with appropriate certification. These are the highlights of national education policy. So it not only enables an individual to study one or more specialized area of interest. Like, for example, we did not have this facility. Now there are liberal colleges where they are providing that the child can get more, can specialize in more than one area of interest at a deep level and also develop character, ethical, and constitutional values. Intellectual curiosity to learn something, to research, because we need more and more research. We need more and more things to be exposed, to be researched by the young generation, the students. Then their scientific temper, creativity, spirit of service, and 21st century's capability across a range of discipline, which includes science, social science, arts, humanities, language, as well as professional, technical, technical and vocational subject. As we have seen in schools, the NEP is focusing more on the skill-based vocationals, because when they go out and from after completing the education, they are well equipped. So now, as discussed by the gross enrollment ratio, it has to be raised by it. It's the mission of national education policy that gross enrollment ratio should go raised to 50% by 2035. And there are more seats which are added in higher education, because if the students, they go for higher education, more retainment, then what will happen? The economy, they will get more specialized, and of course they will help in the growth of the economy of our country. The current rate is in higher education is 26.3%. So now what is it focusing on? Holistic undergraduate education with a flexible curriculum. Just now ma'am said 3 or 4 years with multiple exit options and appropriate certification within the period. Means no year is wasted. No year is wasted, and they can again continue. MPhil, of course, it has been discontinued, and now the courses at undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level will be interdisciplinary. As told by Academic ABC, Academic Bank of Credit is to be established to facilitate transfer of credits. Means nothing, you are not losing anything, even if you change your college. It was not in our time. Wherever, suppose our father was transferred, we had to stay in that place where we were continuing our education. But now this can be transferred. And of course, the leading university, multidisciplinary education and research universities like IITs, IIM, to be set up as models of best multidisciplinary education of global standards in the country. And of course, there is an apex body which will be fostering a strong research culture, because research is the need of the hour. There should be a continuous research, and the students should be exposed to this type of mental setup. So when we talk, it's actually been discussed like the Higher Education Commission of India, HECI. It will be a single umbrella body, and where excluding the legal education and the medical education, which are not under this umbrella. Apart from them, they have 4 independent vertical bodies, which ma'am has already discussed. So I'm not going to discuss on this, like National Higher Education Regulatory Council for regulation. Of course, there should be a body which should regulate. And then the General Education Council for standard setting. Of course, there are different universities, different college, but they should be at par. So they are setting a standard. Then Higher Education Grant Council for funding, like UGC, so it will be for funding, and then the NAC for accreditation. So these are the 4 independent verticals which are under Higher Education Commission of India, each having their own functions. Next, of course, the affiliation of college has to be phased out in 15 years. It will be phased out, and a stage-wise, slowly, stage-wise mechanism will be established for granting graded autonomy to a college. And slowly we will see that over a period of time, every college is expected to develop into either an autonomous degree granting college or a constituent college of a university. So this affiliation of college is to be phased out in 15 years. This is the mission and vision of the National Education Policy. Out of this, there are many, many points which ma'am has already discussed, but I'm just going to touch increasing gross enrollment ratio. If the students, they are, either the private or the government, public and private, they all require growth. So here, so they want it to be 50% from 26%. Holistic education means, I told you about the liberal colleges where a student is getting specialized into more than one. Like for us, it was one. Now they can be specialized. Even like, for example, if they like suppose botany. Along with that, they can pursue music. So in this way, they can get two degrees parallelly, and they can go for arts and vocational fields. Internationalization. India, according to National Education Policy, of course, we were the Vishwa Guru, world teacher. And again, with National Education Policy, they have made it a point to restore the role of India as Vishwa Guru. It must be promoted as the international study destination, providing premium education. The students from outside, from foreign countries, today we are seeing there are many colleges where the students from foreign university, they are learning the Vedas, they are learning about the Sanskrit. So they want, and we all know the Vedas and Upanishads and the Shlokas, Sanskrit, it's so very rich. The foreigners are coming here. So isn't it? It will be increasing the economical condition of India. So they want that motivated, energized, and capable faculty. So the teacher's role is not only teaching, but also motivating the way we do it actually, energizing and the capability, how it can be done. See, now the main problem is the number of students in the class. The teacher is not able, even if he or she wants from core of their heart, it's not possible in a class of 70, 60 students to pay attention. So now they want this ratio to be 1:20 or 1:20, depending on the program where they have enrolled. And the teachers will have time for interaction with students, conducting research and other activities. So these are the so beautiful points of education policy. Then ma'am has already said education is the right, it's in our constitution. So it is the right for each and every individual to access high quality education. It should not be limited to privileged section of the society. Today we know if like the child needs a good education, good higher education, the private institutions they are providing, where the common man, the middle class, lower middle class, or even the middle class people, they have to take so much of loan in order to get the quality education. So here, this point is very, very beneficial for all the students and the parents of these students like us. And teacher education, the teachers, they play a vital role. Of course, the students are the core, they are the center, but the players are the teachers who are actually making them bloom. So it's the teacher's education. The teacher should also be well prepared, isn't it? So they are, because the time when I did my BEd was 1 year, then it changed into 2 years. Now they are focusing on 4 years integrated teacher preparation program, so that they are well equipped and ready to face any problem and challenges. Vocational education, today it's very, very sad that India has less than 5% of Indian workforce which receive actually vocational education. And it is above 50% in many countries like US, where it is 50%. Germany also has 76%, and South Korea 96%. So where India has only 5%, so there are not skilled people. So in this way, so we have to increase it. And how we can do it? By alignment with the education, higher education, starting from the school. Then Lok Vidya, knowledge developed in India, will be made accessible to students through integration into vocal education course. And our Ministry of Education, there was no Ministry of Education, as we all know. But we have one Ministry of Education. So it's a big hippie hooray movement for all of us. And it will constitute a national committee for the integration of vocational education. So vocational education is very, very important. And the professional education, as ma'am has discussed, it's a professional education is the integral part. We were discussing why not teach professionalism in schools and colleges. So students, when they are going out the college, they don't know how to give their interviews also. So they have to take special coaching from the other people, how to go for interview or how to do internship. So why not taught in school and colleges? So effective governance and leadership for higher education system. So we all, there are many points discussed, but I'm going to do little, I'll go. So now it plays an important role in making the culture of merit and innovation in higher education institute. For this purpose, there must be a board of governors consisting of a group of highly qualified and dedicated people who really love education, who are really sincere in their activities. And this will be they will be responsible for meeting all the regulatory guidelines, which is authorized by National Higher Education Regulatory Authority. And the next, National Assessment System, PARAK. What a beautiful name, acronym. Performance, assessment, review, analysis of knowledge for holistic development. Self-assessment. As we know, whenever we ask students, now beta, just give you, how much marks will you give to yourself? They always underestimate. So students should be encouraged that's to do self-assessment. In addition, what teachers are doing, they should know where they are wrong, where they are correct. So now multiple exit, and we already know, we have talked about this. There are multiple options, exit, and they can again rejoin. And in this way, the autonomous body, the National Education Technology, or NETF, will be created, which will provide a platform for the free exchange of ideas on the use of technologies. Because today, what is technology? We have already seen in Corona how biotechnology has emerged as a career. What is biotechnology? It's technology when we are using it in biology. So why not using this use of technology to enhance learning, assessment, and planning and administration? And I've talked about PARAK, and really it's a high time. And also this beautiful languages which are in the verge of extinctions, like Pali, Persian, Prakrit. So this should be given, means the translation and interpretation to be set up. That's a great, a lovely step taken by NEP. And last, it also aimed to increase the public investment in the education sector to reach 6% of GDP, and which was only previously it was 4.6% of its total GDP. So more we invest in higher education, and more we will be able to make our country economically more and more stronger. With this, I come to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Ma'am. It was actually very, very precisely informative, because you covered all the hidden aspects of the NEPs. The highlights of the issue was you actually covered the economy sector, you covered the vocational sector, which is not more into the arena now. It is hidden, but people are not able to highlight it, how to focus on it. And I was just going to the Nipun Bharat also, where they say the Vidya and the Siksha are blended together. So you have covered both of the things in a wonderful way, covering the economy part, the giving economy to India also by way of foreign universities, merging with the Indian universities to diverge the education system. And since vocational training is there, I think during pandemic, many migrants migrated. Whole of India is dependent on these migrant workers for the economic boost of small scale industries. So NEP should highlight on them also how they can take education on this front and give them some facilities also on this front. And the last thing was the way you highlighted PARAKH, which is a wonderful, wonderful way, and it is not into the spotlight at all. So you highlighted that issue, and I was going through it a long time. I think 2 years back also, I was wondering why PARAK is not being shown to the world. What is it? And how we educators can try to bring this into the focus. Parag, it must be included in each and every sector of education. Thank you, ma'am, for the awesome, beautiful information and privilege to have you here. Thank you so much, ma'am. You can take the privilege to introduce the next speaker, ma'am, if you have.
Thank you, Sonal ma'am. Thank you for your encouraging words always, which brings more energy and more I get strength to speak in next
Thank you so
sessions.
much.
So now thank you, ma'am. I introduce our next speaker, Dr. Anjum Nazir Qureshi. Ma'am is an assistant professor in Department of Electronics and Communication, Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering, Research and Technology, Chandrapur. She is a freelance trainer, motivational speaker, certified life coach, certified meditation trainer. She is PhD, MTech in Energy Management System, MTech in Electronics and Communication, PG Diploma in Psychological Counseling. She has completed PhD in Electronic and Communication Engineering from Kalinga University, Raipur. She has the patent for IoT device for social distancing to stop coronavirus. Australian government patent secure communication for healthcare system using side chains and trust-based routing. 20 plus research papers in international journal and conference, 4 book chapters, 5 articles in different platforms. She has received lots and lots of awards. If I continue with these, I think I will take 20 minutes. So without delay, I welcome Anjum ma'am. Stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Hope I'm audible. Yeah. So let me share the screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much, ma'am, for the lovely introduction. And thank you, IDYM, for the opportunity. And I'm really inspired by everyone who is speaking over here. And in fact, let me tell you, this is the first time I'm speaking on this platform. And Sonal ma'am, I have been watching you every day. You're so energetic. You inspire me a lot. In fact, everyone at my home keeps on watching you every day. Okay. So starting with it, and because I was listening to the earlier two speakers, somewhere I thought, how should I start with my presentation? And I hope I tried to do something good with my presentation, because nearly all the objectives of the NEP 2020 and regarding with the higher education, nearly all of them were presented by the earlier speakers. So these are some of the objectives which already Sharda ma'am has spoken about it. But being a professor in engineering college, somewhere I felt I should be concentrating on two aspects of this. Firstly is having motivated, energized, and capable faculty. And the other was optimal learning environments and support for students. So these are some of the experiences which I had. Let me tell you, Chandrapur is a small town in Maharashtra, though it is an industrial belt, but still it is a small town. And the students that we are getting every day are from rural and remote areas, and we are training them to be engineers. So it is a challenge for us. So during this presentation, actually, I will be sharing some of my experience also. So I'm not able to go to the next slide, I think. Just. So yes, the first one, motivated, energized, and capable faculty. So if you want to go for implementing the NEP 2020, obviously this is one of the basic steps and one of the primary steps that should be taken, motivating and upgrading the faculties. Now, like when I studied engineering, I had a lot of different subjects. we only concentrated on C programming, but now we are teaching Python, we are teaching Java, we have IoT, data science, cloud computing, all such courses have entered our regular classes now. So here, one of the basic things that the teachers need is they should keep on upgrading themselves. They should understand that their time was different. When they studied, it was different. And now they have to develop themselves. They have to upgrade themselves according to the requirement of the present generation. Now, yes, like some of the points that which are mentioned in the slides, that there should be basic infrastructure, there should be facilities, offices, teaching classrooms. Yes, the infrastructure has to be improved according to the changes that are taking place in the syllabus. Like the university which we are associated with, every 2 years there are changes in the syllabus. Every 2 years the subjects are changing, and every 2 years we have to make changes in the laboratories also. We have been doing it. But something which I would like to share is that the initiatives that are being taken at the institute level, that also matters a lot. Now, in the next slide, I will just share some of the activities that we do it nearly every day. Like it is mandatory for all of us attending short-term training program or faculty development programs and webinars, seminars, and writing research papers and all. So these are some of the activities which are being done by every student. But there is something lacking over here, which I would like to share you, that in most of the institutions, the faculties are not supported for it. Like, for example, I'm from Chandrapur. I need to attend a short-term training program somewhere in some metro city, in some Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, anywhere. So we don't get the support that, okay, you will be given a leave for 5 days so you can go and attend the program. So there are still there are many higher educational institutions which are not supporting for this. Like similarly, if I need, want to present a research paper in some international conference in some other country. So everywhere we need a support. And I would like to point out, well, there are institutions who are supporting the faculty in this way, and those institutions are flourishing. But the institutions, those who are not supporting the faculty in all these activities, somewhere they are lagging behind. So this is something, if we go for NEP, because NEP has a lot, many changes. So even the faculty, before the students, the faculty has to improve themselves. So for all those objectives which have been laid by the institution, that you should be completing this many training programs, this many research paper in a year. So faculty should be motivated for it, should be supported for it. Now, coming to the optimal learning environments and support for the students. Obviously, without the students, an educational institution can't run. These are the two pillars. So we need to maintain a balance. We need to upgrade the teachers. We need to upgrade the students also. And here, somewhere we think, okay, like here, like the choice-based credit system, which we were discussing earlier. Like in our university, we have already started with it. We are already we are having our subjects on the choice-based credit system. But again, I think there should be some kind of revision, which is not, which is now beyond my area now. But along with that, not only just education, not only just bookish information, bookish knowledge, but the students at the higher educational institutions need more than that, beyond the classroom teaching. So these are some of the activities that we take for the students, like the industrial visits, the seminars. But yes, again, one more thing I would like to share over here. Now, the college students, they are all teenagers, grown-ups. So when we take them for an industrial visit, they are busy in clicking selfies and photos. So here what we do is, for all these activities that we have listed them for them throughout the year, at the starting of the semester, the class in charge form groups of the students. And we give all these activities in groups. Like for industrial visit, if they are going, we saw earlier that they are busy not in seeing the industry, not in visiting the industry, but they are busy in clicking photos and roaming about here and there. But as soon as we said, okay, you have to prepare a report of the industrial visit. So I must say there were beautiful reports. Like 3 years ago when we had a NAC visit to our college, we just kept all this report for the committee to be shown. And the committee was really happy saying all this. Similarly, we helped them, we instruct them to write reports for the seminars, for the workshop, or all the kind of extracurricular activities that is going on. So with this initiatives, what is being happening is that, yes, they are attending the activities, they are enjoying the activities, and at the same time, their writing skills, their communication, or the soft skills are improving. And here I have mentioned one more thing, community-based projects that has been made compulsory. Because yes, in the higher educational institution, it doesn't matter. You're transforming a student to an engineer, doctor, lawyer, scientist, whatever it is. But what I feel, a student should be a good human being, first of all. So for this, we have community-based projects in which the students are sent to some like orphanage, so places like orphanage or old age home or some ashram schools, but these projects are not limited to giving some donations over there. They will be performing some kind of activities, like the students of electrical engineering department, they went to an ashram school and they helped in repairing all the electrical appliances over there. The student of mechanical engineering department, they participate in float cleaning activity. That float cleaning activity is again very famous in Chandrapur. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi has mentioned about it in one of his speeches. And yes, because it is an industrial area, but still a very backward area. So we have MOUs with many companies so that the students are able to visit the industries, complete their project in industries. And then being an engineering institute, we feel that we should be promoting high quality research among the students. So in the college level, we have ourselves like Institute Innovation Council, National Innovation Council, and startup policies and incubation centers, the project labs. So we are actually encouraging the students, for the research-based activities. And we provide assistance to them in patent filing and research paper writing. Actually, I think I will have to just wind it over here because there is no current in my area. Okay, but I had a few more to say, but I will just wind it over here. Sorry for that. Okay, my laptop battery is gone, I think. Well, no problem. I will just introduce the next speaker that we have. The next speaker for today's session is
Ma'am, just 1 minute. Can you close the slide? Is it over?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I will
okay,
have to
you can
stop.
close the slide for 1 minute. And
Yeah.
I would like you to put your video on for 1 minute. Can that be possible?
I can put on the video, but actually there is no current.
Okay.
So it will be black.
No problem. Okay. The only thing is, what is the beauty of this NEP 20 is each one is coming out with their own insightful information. It is not restricted to one topic. So many people were saying that let me connect with each other. I said, please don't connect. Let everyone come out with each and everyone's own different perspective, because each one's view is going to be different. So hats off to all of you for coming out with different varied information and wonderful insightful knowledge, which is not highlighted. Thank you, Anju ma'am. Thank you for this beautiful information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and wonderful initiative being a first time speaker. Hats off.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So it's my privilege to introduce the next speaker for today's session. Our next speaker is Dr. Sonia Achintani. She is founder and director, Dream Achievers, career counselor, certified practitioner, certified NLP practitioner, AIEF certified global ambassador, member of Global Teachers Forum, national counselor for sports education, state president for WICCI Education Policy Council, national editorial team, Gujarat trainer, Global Foundation for Early Childhood Education and Research, Global Goodwill Ambassador, the Sports Collaborative India. She has been honored with honorary doctorate in counseling. Her story has been featured in the book Marvelous Masters, written by Sarvari Datta. She has conducted webinars, counseling sessions, talk shows, podcasts, and workshops on various educational topics for more than 30 educational institutions, organizations, and NGOs. She has also given content for e-magazines and blogs. So it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Sonia ma'am. Ma'am, now the stage is yours. So please, you can go with the presentation.
Unmute yourself, ma'am.
You able to hear me now? Thank you, Anjum ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction. It is really a pleasure to hear it. Thank you, Ravi sir, for this platform. You've been taking lots and lots of initiatives to come out with something very innovative, and a tap on the back of Sonal ma'am for continuously being in touch with all of us, for all our sessions, for all our bios, and for our pics, for creators, for flyers, for links, everything. She is like, just for everything, there's only one remedy, and that is Sonal ma'am. So we have been bombarding things on her, but she's patiently doing it. And it's wonderful to have you, ma'am, as our hostling. And not
Thank
to forget,
Thank you so much. It's a team effort. We all can't do anything alone. Your support, your cooperation will make this journey smooth till 15th of October. And that's the icing on the cake. Thank you so much, ma'am.
and not to forget our little angel Daniel, who's been a backbone for this organization. She's a little champ who has done wonders in last 2 years, I think, for all of us. Well, not taking much of time, I would just share my screen. Are you able to see it? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Now, talking about transforming higher education according to NEP, my fellow speakers have given almost everything, all the inputs, all the insights. There is hardly anything left for me to speak about actually saying. But yes, when you're talking about transforming, we are bringing out a change. We've been following traditional methods of teaching. We've been following a same old culture. But are we really thinking about how we need to do it? We did it in a very traditional way, but now we need to have a change, right? Everybody needs a change. Today, let's talk about Diwali coming. It's just around the corner, 1 month around. Aren't we looking out for things to be changed in the house? Don't we think about changing things in every Diwali? It could be curtains, it could be furniture, it could be crockery, it could be anything, painting, everything that is there. We try to make changes. Why? To give a new look. So transforming education is also something like that. Even the children who are coming up need some change. Today, it is sad, to see children going abroad and studying, leaving our own country. They are resources, they are our future. But they say, hamare paas yahan par resources kam hai. We don't have resources over here. So they are looking out for something to go away from home. But is that what has to happen? And that is what NEP is targeting on, to bring everything under one umbrella for our future generation. Now, need for transformation, to draw new roadmaps for young minds. They need new roads, right? The road not taken, they need to explore it, and they will learn better out of it. Remember, we learned a poem, The Road Not Taken, in English literature. It says there was a road which had lots of maple leaves on the road and one which had nothing on it. So the poet was in a confusion which road to take. So similarly, we need to make new roadmaps for our children so that, they can explore through their potentials for coming up in life, to make the future of India ready for global competition. Yes, we need to be ready with global competition. We need every student of our country to be ready for anything that comes up. It should be a spontaneous thing for them, They should not say ki, humne to tayari nahi ki, we are not prepared for it. It should not be like this. To promote blended and holistic grooming by focusing on critical thinking, collaborative, experimental, and skill learning. Now, this is very important. We need to teach them blended learning. We need to teach them collaborative learning. They need to have critical thinking. They need to have skill. Everything together will give them a holistic grooming. When we are teaching them values, of how to respect elders, when we are teaching them to go to NGOs and work with the NGOs or the orphanages or the old age home or even visit hospitals. Even during this COVID, there were students who volunteered to take part in things, and my own daughter for that matter was a volunteer in arranging for beds in the hospital, for arranging for injections to different people. She was on a very big social media network, and she was in a group of almost 200 people, and she was doing all this. It was wonderful to see, because children learn to value life, children learn to value other people, respect other people for that. So this is how we need to train them. This is a holistic grooming. Only bookish knowledge or textual knowledge is not going to give, a good future to anybody. They need to have skill. As the other speakers said, I totally agree to them. We need to experiment on new things. We need to explore new potentials. We need to have skill development in them. We need to give them vocational courses. Why are our schools not giving carpentry, painting, and plumbing, electric fittings, these kind of small things and tidbits to children? Because when the children are doing all this, they are ready to at least do what they can do at home. Maybe a child is not very good with education, maybe he's not good with books and academics, but these things could really interest him and he could make a beautiful career out of them. So this is what we need to think about, and that is what we need to highlight in NEP also, to encourage a student for a lifelong learning. This is very important. Now, when a child is given a platform to explore himself, experiment on things, he learns it in a way where he remembers it for lifelong. We are not asking him to mug up the concepts in any way. We're not asking him to sit with a book and rot it out and write in the exam, that is all you are expected to do. No, we are not doing any such thing. We need to give them a platform where they will experiment things, they will explore their learning, they will come out with better presentations on their concepts and accordingly put forward their things. And this learning is going to be lifelong for them. You ask them at the mid of the week also, they will be able to tell you what they had learned and at what age. So plans to bring in uniformity into education system. We need to really form a uniformity in it. We need to give an equal access to everything. One segment is getting something, the other segment is getting something. We need to finish all this. We need to give them a par where, everybody is equal. They have equal access to all the things. So this is what we are thinking about. Implementation. Now, how is the government going to implement it? We spoke what NEP can do, what transformations we need. Now, how is the government going to bring these implementations? The government has increased the education budget from 4.6 to 6. That more and more youth can make the best use of these opportunities. The proposal to set up higher education commission at 4 verticals. Now, why 4 verticals? We need different levels. See, when we are talking about higher education commission, it is one big bird. We talk about a hawk, but it has different wings to fly, which help him to fly higher. Now, National Higher Education Regulatory Council. What does this council do? This council is going to regulate things. We need somebody to supervise things, to bring things at par, what type of syllabus, curriculum planning is to be done, how training processes have to be followed, what are the things that are to be added, what are the things that have to be deducted. So it's a regulatory body to see that everything goes in a very smooth way, everything goes in a very regularized way. Now, when we are talking about General Education Council, it is standard setting. We come out with university rankings every year. Ranks are given to universities. Same thing this council is going to do. It is going to set benchmarks, at every level. So the universities or the colleges, institutes that are opening up will have to follow those criteria, will have to get eligible to sustain those benchmarks. This council is going to look into that. Then you have Higher Education Grants Council, funding. Now, when we are talking about transformation, it needs lots and lots of funding. the national education institutes that are coming up, as many as so many coming up in the country. We need to have laboratories, we need to have libraries, we need to have infrastructure, we need to have the basic amenities, facilities, then we need to have high quality staff, faculty training programs. We need everything, from the scratch level to the top level. So then when we are talking about all this, we need to fund them also. We need to raise the funds. We need to finance them to come up with these facilities. So this is what HEGC will do. Now we have Nation Accreditation Council, a council that is going to get affiliations, give recognition to the universities and the institutes. Now, when I am studying in an institute, first thing what I do is, it is affiliated. Does it have a recognition? Will the certificate or the diploma I do will be valid? So, this will give validation. So this is where we need to understand it. Now, set up multiple disciplinary universities by 2030. It's a big milestone that we are going to achieve in every district, and to also doors of liberal education. Imagine opening doors for liberal education. It is wonders that can happen. Till now there was a myth. You either take science, you need to become an engineer. You take up medical, you need to become a doctor. You become a CA, you're taking commerce. This is what we had heard. Sharma ji, आपकी बेटी इंजीनियरिंग कर रही है. गुप्ता जी, आपका बेटा डॉक्टर बन गया. Oh wow, अब मेरा बेटा क्या करेगा? मतलब, stop thinking about such things. You don't have to. Liberal education is going to open Pandora box for students, So liberal education will be a blend of wide range of subjects with extra activities and projects. Subjects where you can blend, science with commerce, commerce with arts, science with vocational, commerce with performing arts. It's going to give them a beautiful picture. I think these things should be innovative, Children should have that space of taking up, one vocational and one academic. Blend it together, and then whichever is better for you, make a career out of it. You have knowledge of both the things. Now it is possible, thanks to NEP. You can have dual degrees. You can come up with multidisciplinary degrees also. You can take up majors and minors as it's given in the abroad universities. Major in science, a minor with performing arts. A major in performing arts with a minor in commerce. Go ahead and do it. Nobody is going to stop you from it. Make the best use of it. Explore your potential and strengths, your interests, so that you can learn better. You can come out and give the best out of it. A student will get a diploma certificate after 1 year, advanced diploma after 2 years, bachelor's degree after 3 years. And 4th year is like, if you're going into multidisciplinary, or if you have a degree which needs some research paper or research work to be put in, you have an extra thing to do. So the 4th year comes into picture accordingly. So this is how it works. Now, the result, the outcome of all this that we spoke about, real-time data-driven improvement process. Yes, there is a continuous process of improvement in everything. Extended learning opportunities. With all these things, we give an extended learning opportunity to our students. There is a multiple entry-exit point, as speakers have already spoken about it. Standards-based curriculum and assessment. Yes, they have to maintain a standard. They have to think about what type of curriculum should be there, what is apt for that particular thing, accordingly maintain it. You have unified culture of excellence. There is lots and lots to explore from around, because liberal arts is coming into action. Leadership effectiveness. Yes, when children are working with different activities, projects, they're taking up internships, they are working on different, programs. So they automatically have leadership effectiveness on their own. Teacher effectiveness, when the teachers are given a freedom to work in a environment which is like, of their own choice. They can design a curriculum, they can design a planning as they have to teach in the class, what is to be taught in the class. So, and then side by side, they are upgrading themselves also with routine teacher training programs, enrichment programs, taking certifications apart from their BHs and their masters. So all this is going to add on as a topping on the cake. Student performance and engagement. Yes, biggest thing. The student learns a lot through this exploration. The student performs well. There's an excellence in his performance and through this engagement. Yes. So this is all that I had for today. And thank you so much for being so patiently listening to me. Thank you. So I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Sonia ma'am, you have actually highlighted the practical aspects. What is practical approach, hands-on, जो implementation होना चाहिए, the life skills to become a lifelong learner, and the vocational skills that you were talking, why people are migrating to USA and other countries. हमारे इंडिया में इतने सारे resources है. So unless we educators bring those out from the cocoon and give the wings to the NEP policy कि जाओ जाके बच्चों को खींच के लाओ यहाँ पे. We can't highlight, we can't take the NEP to each and every country, but through our session, let us highlight that India is also rich with amazing resources. There are educators who are working on each and every core aspect of the policy. Like you have highlighted the different parts, Sharda ma'am has highlighted a different part. All have highlighted, they are very different core aspects. क्योंकि हमारे पास तो NEP 20 policy का वो है framework है, but we are diving deeper into the ocean कि वो framework में से बाहर निकालो क्या क्या है. So wonderful. I mean, I shall express my gratitude to all of you for taking the efforts to make beautiful, precise PPTs and amazing information. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you, ma'am.
yeah.
It is a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, moving on to introducing
Yes.
my next speaker. Actually, she doesn't need any words, as a very dear one to our heart. Well, ma'am, it's a pleasure to introduce you. It's a privilege for me to introduce you on the platform. Ambassador Dr. Iman Abdul Samai Ali Hussain Alam. She does not need actually any introduction. Do you all really think ma'am needs an intro? Does any
I don't
word
think.
really justify?
Just give her a beautiful welcome because everyone knows her very well.
Yes, but
So
I
just
would
give
love
her
to
a-
tell about ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am is a lecturer in botany and microbiology. She's a department faculty of science with Al Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt. She's dedicated lecturer and highly skilled researcher and trainer of trainers. Ma'am has submitted 16 patents related to new drugs extracted from plants. She has 45 books in the area of medicinal plants and research skills of youth researchers and students. She has also 36 internationally published scientific papers in this area of science. She has reviewed around 250 articles. She is the president of hundreds international scientific meetings and participated as keynote speaker, resource person, organizer, moderator, and chairperson in nearly about 1,500 international scientific meetings and engaged in many international training programs as organizer and instructor in a collaborative work with many international scientific and training organizations in many countries like Europe, USA, Asia, Africa. She is a global ambassador of climate change, global awareness for development initiative, Abuja, Nigeria. Ma'am, I think I'm going to take the complete session to introduce you. I think I welcome you on the platform. The dice is all yours, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Sonia ma'am. Really, I appreciate your introduction because you are a great person. So you can see all people as you. It's a part of your thoughtfulness. Thanks a lot to all respected colleagues. I am very happy to be with you today. Allow me to spotlight myself because I am acting as co-host now. Yes, I am coming. Yes. Thank you, Sonia ma'am. Really, you did amazing lecture. I am very happy to be with you today. And thanks all respected colleagues. Really, all speakers did awesome and amazing lectures. Thanks a lot and greetings to IDYM and also to Ravi sir and Donel, Miss Donel. Yes, you said she is the little angel. I agree totally. And also, let's thank Dr. Sonel and Dr. Buja because they are arranging all days. They are suffering with all of us. to make all people satisfied. Now I need to share my screen. My talk will be about. Now I'm coming. Yes. I'll talk about transforming higher education. Especially, I need to focus on 2 points. I need to focus on sustainable development goals and NAB, and also I need to focus on COVID-19. So I love this phrase, and the author is Dr. Peter Ickel. He said, accessing change and transformation in higher education is an essential task for all leaders. So I appreciate this phrase, so I need to transfer it to you. What about digital transformation is one of the 4 strategic priorities of the International Association of Universities, IAU. The COVID-19, which is the crisis, this pandemic has as never before accelerated digital transformation. Really, COVID-19 pushing us towards digital transformation in higher education and also in schools as soon as possible, because we find ourselves in an isolated parts, so we need to be digitalized. So COVID-19 transferred us to digital world. The work on the policy statements began before COVID-19. However, COVID-19 and this pandemic accelerated the issue on many things like digital technologies for communication and exchange, for teaching and learning, for research collaboration, as well as for many other services. These services are provided as a part of day-to-day life. Now, it's our routine work now. Let's talk about transforming higher education in digital world for the global common good. We have many conventions and we have many associations interested in improving the performance of higher education. Now I need to talk about these 5 points. These 5 points are about the International Association of Universities calls for digital transformation in higher education for global common good. Such transformation must be ethical. We must consider ethics, we must consider humanity, and we must consider the purpose based for it. We can't ignore our basics of humanity and ethics and our religion and so on. This called anchored in the mission and the vision of IAU. There are many fundamental values promoted by this and other associations. Technology has the potential to remedy all our problems. So we can overcome all our social problems by technology. We can improve our human conditions also by the technology. Technology brings us to new challenges also. Like misusage of technology, like hacking and so on. I'm against the word ethical hacking. I'm against this point because no policy. This statement encompasses us to essential principles and values. These values related to digital transformation in higher education and in our society. If we are to shape the digital world, so we need to appreciate the privacy of each country, ethics, rules, and so on. The responsibility of higher education institutes has to fall. Continuous transformation of higher education and shaping the shape of the society towards a sustainable future. We are saying every minute, we are saying sustainability, sustainable development goals, and so on. So we are going to talk about sustainable development goals. We are talking, we are going to talk about United Nations agenda related to sustainable development goals. Now, I wanted to check that the screen is okay. Alhamdulillah, it's okay. We need to highlight some concepts because as a scientist, we are in a real need to focus on some expressions and some concepts, like we need to highlight in this issue, we need to highlight leadership, we need to highlight globalization, we need to highlight scientific globalization, especially. We need to highlight the meaning of online and virtual universities. We need to depend on AI in our life. We need to talk about advanced sciences and recent technologies. We need to talk about interdisciplinary motivation of students, because when we want to achieve the best performance, so we need to motivate. We are talking about leaders. I started by leadership. We need to talk about assessment, evaluation. We can't improve without evaluation. We need to talk about overcoming a crisis. We can't overcome crisis except by anything except good performance. So we need to talk about digital transformation, blended learning, hybrid conferences. It's very important to open the door for all the globe. Now we can't do. We need to concentrate on hybrid conferences. We need to talk about quality assurance and improvement again and again. It's essential to build a humanistic, ethical, inclusive, and purpose-based digital transformation of higher education for our globe. Effecting a change in higher education is like moving against waves in some places, because this is one of many challenges. We have some people who are in love to destroy any new ideas, refusal. They are doing bad or negative criticism. So we need to overcome this negative energy. We need to focus on improvement and building stronger leaders in our colleges and in our universities. We need to talk about inability to respond to changing environments. Some people have these characters. They can't change. They are refusing changes. As I said before, criticism, being negative criticism, being people characterized by negative criticism is, I think, a huge risk in against achieving any change, against doing any good performance, against improvement. So such people are pushing us behind. Also, we have some arguments in many universities all over the world related to communicating important social roles related to higher education. We need to focus on our society, the role of the society, and the impact of education on our society. So we need to call for international and national framework conductive to focus on the potential of digital transformation for the global common good. We have some frames related to how to determine evidence of transformation. We have curriculum. We can talk about student learning assessment. We can talk about policies, budgets, and financial supports. We can talk about institutional structure. We can talk about decision-making structures. We are going to talk about leaderships and entrepreneurship. Also, we have a framework to determine cultural evidence like group interaction, languages, conversation topics, all the arguments, and relationships between students and between teachers. We need to focus also on improvement of teacher skills and sustainable development goals. According to UNESCO, these three related to knowledge-driven actions transforming higher education for global sustainability. We are talking about agenda of 2030. This agenda must be highlighted and must be correlated with higher education institutions. Higher education institution must take on a stronger role to tackle the world most pressing issues. We need to be advanced. We can't be advanced without focusing on improvement of higher educational institutes. According to the agenda, we need to move towards inter and intra-disciplinary modes of producing knowledge. We need to improve our leaders, our principals. We need to improve ourselves, our students to be a leader. We need to focus on our demands for a stronger presence in society. We need to be engaged with the society. There are many reports. These reports are done by UNESCO to achieve the UN agenda and to detect the challenges and what can we do to achieve any problem facing the issue of improving higher education. Knowledge-driven actions, transforming higher education for goal sustainability. Independent expert group on the universities and the agenda. We need to have experts. There is some specific recommendations done by UNESCO already. I shared all the files related to this lecture because really I collected a huge amount of papers. I tried to read most of them. It's a very critical issue. I think we can do something like meta-analysis. So we can do analyzing to this data so we can reach to better things in the future. By brainstorming, we have some specific recommendations done by the UNESCO. They discussed the many issues like financial support, funding conferences related to sustainable development goals, and also preparing curricula related to sustainable development goals. We need to be engaged to the society. We need to focus on certain days like Environmental Day, like Peace Day, and so on. We need to insert ethics inside our students to be leaders of today, not of the future. We need to introduce some courses related to sustainable development goals in all educational programs. We need to be engaged to our government and our society, as I said before. So we need to serve UN agenda, anything related to sustainable development goals. We need to establish transitional self-reflexive. We need also, to focus on the issue of funding participation. Many courses we need to do something like fellowships and scholarships related to sustainable development goals. As you know, sustainable development goals are 17, and in the core of them, number 4 is related to the quality of education. If we can analyze all of them, we can find the education inside them indirectly. Am I exceed the time, ma'am? Hello?
You can continue.
Okay. So we have SMART goals to improve our society and to improve we need to improve our society via higher education. We must have specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time framed goals. Also, we need to share knowledge as messengers. So we need to create leaders. Leaders can't be created without love. As I said before, if we will delete L and E, learning and education, love will be of zero value. We need to focus on professional development skills of educators. We need to talk about modern educators. We are going to be digitalized. We are going to focus on AI, training. Inquiry. We need to ask, we need to reflect, we need to investigate, discuss, and create. There is no creation and innovation without inquiry. We need to focus on active learning, inquiry-based learning and teaching of all recent and modern sciences. Here, just I have some photos related to education during the pandemic, some successful case studies from my faculty. These students are related to the first level of biology. I try to eliminate the stress. I try to absorb all negative energies from their bodies. So I need to change them to be more active, to be more happy. As you know, COVID made many people to be stressful and sad and so on, because you know COVID is a crisis. So I try to convey them. We can play some roles. We can present some lectures. You have enough time to do many things instead of being without doing nothing. So you can present some lectures. You can learn some skills. You can improve yourself. And I have positive responsibility. Positive response from them. This positive response also is built on responsibility. I've conveyed them about the responsibility. You are responsible. You must afford the responsibility of yourself. So you are not young enough. You are not young. So you are mature enough. You can lead. As you can see here, they are presenters, they are good speakers, they touched many important topics like scientific writing, time management, presentation skills, self-confidence, and many specific topics related to biology, biotechnology, and so on. Also, they are awarded by me and by the faculty in the form of many free training programs to attend online, not physically, because as you know, at the time of COVID, we can't leave our homes. So we did many online training workshops and training programs in different topics like moringa as food and medicinal plants, plant tissue culture from theory to application, relationship between female lifestyle and infertility. Additionally, they are awarded by many online training programs. I try to perform after the end of COVID. We completed. So I tried to perform some workshops like this workshop, improvement of research skills of students and youth researchers. I try to learn them science and diplomacy, role of ethics in participation in international scientific meetings,